Hi there, today's video is going to be video number 7 of the Hotrod Truck model build, and today we're going to be revisiting the cab. Some things didn't line up properly, etc, etc, which I'll explain to you a little bit when we get down to the actual bench. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you do, please do hit that thumbs up button, and if you haven't already, please do subscribe. Cheers.
So first off, I'll just explain to you the reason why I decided to restart the truck cab. Basically it was the roof. Didn't like the way this went. It wasn't quite uniform, slightly different curves here and there. I was redoing this and it just got a bit thin where I've been grinding it, and I just got fed up with redoing stuff, as you can see in the back there. So I thought I'd start again, try that way. And also the back of the cab, these lines, they're a bit crappy. As you can see, too much going on there. So to thin all that, and then start all over again. But you joined me part way through because I wasn't going to video it, but I figured now, as we didn't get any on the front end before because of the camera, I thought I would actually do it this time. So you can see part way through, and you can see everything. I've got a line down there already. Wasn't intentional, but my original plan when we went up the truck there, there's the truck bed, looking a bit tatty now. You know, I wanted to line up these lines better, and this with this line here better, which I've managed to do. It's looking quite good, so I'm quite happy with that. But if I was to keep the roof sort of dead straight down here, it meets up with this, and I wouldn't have been able to have a slightly inward kind of windscreen area, so to speak. So I'd already sliced it down the middle, but it's still not quite enough. So first of all, that's what I'm going to do now, and I'm going to work out more precisely how wide that needs to be at the front there to actually fit properly with that, with a little bit of a outward part of the windscreen. So let's see. So yeah, you can possibly see from that angle there a little bit better. So it's because that's pretty much exactly the same. It's just going to be straight up, and that just looks awful. So I'm going to come in a little bit. I'm not sure, maybe a centimetre overall, or maybe 2 centimetres overall. But let's see what curve that gives me once I've actually cut that down the middle. You may also notice there I've used a lot thicker metal this time, just to give me a little bit more grinding room to get those angles and everything correct. So let's get that recut. That's it, cut in half. Now, how much would you actually want to come in, I wonder? Maybe, I think, a centimetre either side? What is that? A couple of centimetres, maybe half an inch if you're American, 3/4 of an inch, 2 centimetres. Good guess. So let's take a centimetre off either side. So yeah. Made a good purchase. I bought lots of permanent markers because I just kept losing them. Obviously you do 1 centimetre off either side because it's got a curve, otherwise things won't line up properly afterwards. see how much better that looks. Go up there. So let's imagine. Just take a piece of that bar. Yeah, I think that looks better. Or would you look that, I should say. Okay. Still not going to finish up welding that though, just in case. But well, I'll just show you. So I managed to actually get these nice bars in pretty well. It's like when my grinding's not perfect, but really, you know, you really can't see that. So I'm much happier with that, and it really does line up and look sort of more like that one. It's a little bit fatter, but yeah. So yeah, some of you can see that I've might notice that I've got a new work top, should we call it, nice thick piece. I think it was 4mm sheet, because my old one, as you can see in here, is quite bowed, and it was messing things up, to be honest. You can't line stuff up when the actual bench itself isn't actually flat. So invested in that, hopefully it'll come out a bit better, because I am planning on actually selling this afterwards, so I'd like it to be decent. So I'm going to cut that bit out for the top. Again, I've lost my pen, this is why I bought a new pack. There it is. Match that curve on the inside. So I want a little lip at the top. With that. Big bit at the top of the window. Difficult because when you bend stuff, things get different. So yeah, let's just tack it on there first, right in the middle, and then we can go from there to try and work out where everything else goes. Very well from up there. So yeah, kind of like that. Just give that some curve. Tack a little bit, push down a little bit, tack a bit more, push down a little bit, blah blah blah. You get the idea. weld, tack that on the end now. It to be. I'm actually going to cut that, but what I am going to do is I'm just going to score it because I want to bend that round to make the other side of the pillar. Get a bit hot. So now should bend that around there. Let's give that a little tap with the hammer. It's actually put in quite a nice little bend, just that bit. I doubt I'll get this one the same because that's just typical. I'll weld that up afterwards and grind it down. See, that one wasn't bent as much because I cut through a bit further. So now I need to cut out my actual window. Thinking something like that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the bottom off, and then it'd be easier to get the angle grinder in to grind away what I don't cut away. So that to one side. Now we weld that back in. I'm going to still need to fill in this panel here, which I think, do you call it a scuttle panel? I could be wrong. Hit me up in the comments and let me know if anyone there knows what this bit between the bonnet and the windscreen's called. But I think I'll put my attention to this here first. Just need to decide how wide to make the window. I think just that will do. shape, I think. Just save me burning my fingers. So that's both sides in. I'm not going to weld these in much today, just going to tack them in because I haven't got much welding gas left basically, so I want to get as much sort of shaped up and everything first before I run out of gas. Going to cut that out, I think, as opposed to make that scuttle panel. See, this might be a mistake. Happy with that. That's all welded up. Heat's come through a little bit there, as you can see. So just yeah, that's looking pretty good. Quite happy with that. I'm only going to go to that line because I'm going to continue that. I think I'm going to taper it out, mainly because I ain't cutting this again to carry it on around. Give it some shape though, right? On a dead flat door. It's dead straight there, and I think that probably would do. This bit here's got a curve, so what I'm going to try and do is match that curve, goes sort of there, across there. the idea. So yeah, successful trip there. So bent it slightly, you can see there. Slightly more here than there, because here's flatter, whereas that's a bit more curved. So it kind of matches up. You can kind of see it's a bit tight, but yeah, kind of matches up there. Look, just about. Once I get it in, I'll just do a bit of grinding to make that a bit more the same. So now I just need to cut that line across there, across to there. It's really important that I make this dead straight because I want to put the metal bar in and I don't want any light to shine through, so I'm going to swap this for a new one because it's a lot easier to cut a nice straight line all the way. It's one of these that's new. Now I know I said I was going to taper that off, which I will, but I'm going to get that bit on first. Let's grind that all down and see how it looks.
Pretty happy with that. It's come along just together there with the rest of the truck bed and the front end there. Door in, just temporarily, mind you. I think I'm going to need to probably go down on the front a little bit, and I'm going to put a side skirt step, make it a step side truck. Hopefully that's going to turn out pretty nicely. I hope you like that. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you do, please hit that thumbs up, and if you haven't already, please do subscribe.